What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this holy mess. All right, guys. We are back with more when it comes to the Jakes. And we don't have any concrete proof that they are behind what happened to Michelleloud. But when you put 2 and 2 together, you can get nothing but 4. And the fact that we've been talking about Michelleloud here for a little minute now, I know there are other places that have been talking about this more, but this is one of those situations. It's not a story, it's a situation that just really gets my blood boiling. I mean, I don't even know what to say, but I believe that the allegations and the innuendo and the talk surrounding Bishop tdjakes and Sean Combs was honestly good news when it comes to Michelleloud, because I felt like it put more of a spotlight on him and his family, like I feel like it needs to constantly be, because of what I believe happened, which was spiritual manipulation and spiritual coercion to take this woman's child, to say that this child was born for Corajakes, at the time Coleman, but now she's no longer Coleman because her husband, or now ex-husband, is in prison. And the woman who claimed to be this prophet, who said that Michelleloud gave birth to this baby for corajakes Coleman and Brandon Coleman, did this prophet see that this man was going to be arrested for touching a child and doing things to a child? If you're that much of a prophet, then why didn't God show you that? Why didn't God show her that Cora needed to get out of that marriage, because this man really shouldn't be around any children, let alone children that she was going to have in her care? Now, I'm actually one of those people that don't even really believe that he did those things. I'm not one of those people that's to sit and not believe a child. But because of all of the things that has come out about this family that nobody really talks about, and if there are people that have talked about it, which I've heard people talking about these things, they don't really get a lot of exposure and light and constant scrutiny placed on the Jakes because of the power that they have. So knowing the things that I have learned about Sarah Jakes, whatever her, what is it, Roberts? Yeah, Sarah Jakes Roberts, who has a huge following and almost cult-like, because if you say anything about her, there are going to be people that are, don't talk about Sarah. Take your mouth off of the woman of God. Touch not my anointed. All that other ridiculousness that people love to twist from the Bible when it comes to you speaking about, let's just be honest, their faves, just like there are people in the Beehive that they don't want you saying anything that they deem as negative about Beyonce because they want to come for your neck. And it's like, this is a human being. This is not God Almighty. They're not even Jesus Christ. They're not even one of the angels. They are a person just like you and I. So you may not like some things that are being said about your faves, but it doesn't mean that you should be out here windmilling in the internet streets for these people that you don't know, that wouldn't piss on you if you were on fire, let alone give you a nickel if you needed to buy some gum to chew on because you're hungry. But you're so hell-bent on supporting them that they're living these amazing, lavish lifestyles while you're suffering, struggling, or maybe you're not suffering and struggling, but you're just living a life that's definitely not close to what they're living. And going off on a little bit of a tangent, it's just one of those things that just really gets my blood boiling. So basically, I wanted to speak to this situation because when I learned about Michelleloud and how her home was broken into, ransacked, and only specific things were taken, it made me just immediately think about the Jakes family. So let's just go ahead and get into what she had to say.
I came home yesterday and I go to my front door. I normally drive around to the back and just go in through the garage. But this particular day, I parked in the front and I checked my mail and I proceeded to go to the front door. I go to the front door. I unlock the bottom lock. And the door, it was like jammed, like it wasn't opening. So then I turned the flashlight on. And I can see the rubber, the rubber that's on the door when you close it to keep it sealed, I guess closed. It was ripped. Had holes in it. I was like, what the hell, And I try to open the door, and the door is jammed. So I give it a nudge. It opens. And I look, my wood is cracked. On the side, my wood is cracked. As soon as I open the door, it's nothing but chaos. It's stuff everywhere. The living room, my kids' room, my kitchen. I have an Amori chest where I keep certain things. Everything was pulled out of it. I go to my room. I'm a very clean person. I'm a very organized person because I work so hard. I worked so hard to get to the place where I'm at. And I pride myself in taking care of what I have because it was a time where I didn't have nothing. I go into my room and it just looked like a tornado hit. So I started looking around, to see what was missing, what was gone. I called my mom. Like, Mama, somebody been in my house. Somebody's been here. My house is tore upside down. Clothes, it's like y'all just took clothes out of my dressers. You just swung it around. Papers is everywhere. But you can tell that whoever did it, they were looking for something The only things that was my TVs weren't taken, my jewelry wasn't taken, my shoes, clothes, none of those items was taken. I have other valuable things. None of those things was taken. The only things that were taken was my laptop, my iPad, my safe that has my kids' birth certificates and socials, and where I keep my money for my rent and for my utilities, and a yellow manila folder that has the final order from my case with Jason. That is the only thing that was taken out of my home. My kids' TVs are still there. Their valuables is still there. They didn't even... all of that stuff is still there. So I can only feel like I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. I can only feel like that I was targeted, and that it's who I'm up against. My neighbor told me that it was 2 SUVs on the street, 2 black SUVs on the street. And one was at the top of the street, and then one circled around my neighborhood. And he said they circled around my street twice. And then they stopped in front of my house. She said that she wasn't able to see over the SUV. So she couldn't see if someone went in or not. She said she thought it was strange, but she didn't think nothing of it. And she went on about her way. I asked her, because she does have a Ring door camera, I asked her if I could see the footage, if she could send me the footage. In the footage, I can't see the people, but you do see the truck. You do see the SUV. You do see the SUV. Before this happened, a member of the Jakes family reached out to me at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Before that person reached out to me, Cora had sent a message to a supporter. And I just want to send a message to the Jakes. It is nothing that y'all can do that would ever make me be quiet or stop fighting for my son. I am not Brandon, and I am not any of the other people of loose ends that y'all tie, or that y'all silence, or that y'all make disappear. There is nothing that y'all can do to keep me silent, to move me, to make me shut up, to quit me, to stop me from talking, to stop me from fighting, to stop me from moving, to stop me from going. Nothing. You can take everything that I have. You can literally try to destroy me, but I'm going to keep fighting for my son. I'm going to keep fighting for my baby. And y'all will not break me. Y'all will not break me. Y'all will not scare me. And y'all will not put me in fear. At all. I won't let you do it. I won't let you do it. Because there's nothing that you can tear up and take when you have my most prized possession. Nothing. Nothing. Y'all can't back me in the corner no more. Y'all can't manipulate me anymore. You can't do it anymore. And if I have to keep coming public to talk about it, then that's what I'm going to do. Because people deserve to know the truth about who y'all are and what y'all do and how y'all move to silence people. It's not right. It's not okay. And I'm not going to be moved. 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 You cannot move me. You cannot move me. You cannot move me. You cannot move me. I'm just not going to be moved. It hurts because you just feel violated. And y'all continue to try to violate me. And try to violate my household where my kids lay their head in. And think that that's okay. And think that's all right. But if God be for me, if God be for me, who can be against me?
Well, you heard that. You heard what she had to say. And my heart goes out to her. I'm actually going to be sending her some money via Cash App because I believe every single word that she's saying. I don't believe she's lying about anything that happened, because why would anyone break into her home and dismantle it the way that they did and take the things that they did, but they didn't take anything that somebody who would be breaking into a home to steal, to get things for either money or to just use the stuff that they're stealing, why would they break in and take paperwork and a safe, but leave the other things, you know? And when she talked about the 2 black SUVs, and she said she just was recently contacted by somebody in the Jakes family, and it was really early in the morning, and she didn't say who it was. We can only assume. I just absolutely believe that they want this woman to shut up. Just close your mouth. We don't want any more attention on us. Instead of just doing the right thing. Cora, give this woman her child back. Even if you claim that it was an ethical and legal and done the proper way process to obtain custody of the child, which most of us don't believe it was done that way. But I'm saying, even if you claim that it was, if this woman is out here loud and proud saying that she wants her son back. Look at all of these people that have abandoned children. Look at all of the places that need someone to adopt a child. And if the mental state isn't there for her to get a child, I mean, if they have all of this power and favor that they have to take this woman's child the way they did, using spiritual manipulation and trying to make it seem like you're somebody that just has a litter of children that you're not taking care of. And so what is one taken off of your hands when you're just out here on the system of the government? No, this woman is out here. She's working. She said she definitely fell on some hard times, but who hasn't? And if you haven't, you keep living. You may. Not everyone goes through those types of struggles in life. But I'm just basically saying, if you have all of that favor and power, then couldn't they do some things that would scoot you through the process of being able to get one of those children? Or better yet, you have the money, get a surrogate and have someone have a child for you. There's so many other ways to go about having a child versus taking possession of someone else's that you wanted to claim and grab a hold to because you didn't feel like they deserved to have the child. Because it's like, well, you already got a bunch of them. What's one taken off your hands? You know, like some people feel that way. It's just absolutely crazy. But just to remind you guys of what Michelle said in the past, let's just go back and have a little quick refresher of what she had to say a few years ago.
That girl for a whole year straight after I had my baby did whatever she could to put it in my head that my baby was not for me, to the point where she brought down a so-called prophet by the name of Gaylina, okay? And they performed this whole little, I call it an exorcism now. They had me laying on the floor, speaking in tongues over me, pouring oil over me. Then she comes up with this elaborate story talking about I didn't have Jason for myself, that I had Jason for Cora and Brandon Coleman, and how she could see Brandon sitting on some type of throne. And it was my son that was sitting on his lap, and he was just laughing and playing. To the point where Cora told me after I had my son Liam that God gave me Liam so that Jason's real brother could come. Who the f*** is Jason's real brother? Because it sure ain't no child coming from you because you can't have kids. She can't have kids. You understand what I'm saying? The bitch can't have kids.
So that's just a little bit of a refresher. And again, I reiterate, this woman that's supposed to be a prophet by the name of Gaylina, okay, using spiritual manipulation and coercion. And some people can easily just like flap that off like, yeah, whatever, chick. But that stuff is, think about it. It's really deep how some people can use spiritual manipulation and coercion to get over on people. And when you're in the midst of it, you have to really be strong, like really, really strong to not fall under that ruse, that manipulation. And so with all that she already had, that she was dealing with and going through, she really wasn't in a strong state of mind at that time. But this woman that claimed to be a prophet, saying that she was seeing Brandon and she saw him sitting on a throne and that Michelle's son Jason was sitting on his lap. The prophet couldn't see that this man was going to be charged with touching a child or touching children, doing things to a child, doing things to children, winding up going to prison for 20 to 40 years. The spirit didn't show her that, but the spirit showed her that Michelle was supposed to give up her son for Cora and Brandon to raise. Man, when I tell you, it's so crazy out here with this foolishness. And I just wanted to talk about this, guys, again. I would highly, highly suggest that you donate to her Cash App. I will put a link to her Cash App in the description so that you can go and donate to her and share this. Share what she has been sharing. Keep the word going about this stuff, because I do believe everything that she's saying happened the way that she said it happened, and we cannot confirm, neither deny, that the Jakes had involvement in this, but I'm saying that I believe it to be so. I can believe what I want to believe, and I'm saying that that's what I believe. I'm not saying that they did it or they had something to do with it, but I'm saying I believe that they did. And I believe that they want this woman to shut up so bad. But she's done a number of different interviews since that swallowed up and Bishop tdjakes' response to the rumors about him getting down and dirty at the Diddy parties and all of that different type of stuff like that, right? So I believe that since Michelle has been speaking more and more and more, which she hasn't stopped speaking, but she's just been really keeping the heat and the pressure on the Jakes family and talking about this situation. They just really want her to keep her mouth closed. And this is something that they did, in my personal opinion. I believe that they had something to do with to get her to shut up. And Michelle said, I'm not going to stop. She said, you cannot stop me. I'm not going to stop. And I can only say that I pray for her. I commend her. I support her 100%. And I know that it's not easy. This is a young woman. Okay. And not only is she a young woman, she has other children that she has to take care of and raise, as well as just trying to get up every day and live her life. I can't imagine going through things like that. I can only say that it has to be just honestly such a press to even get up when you wake up in the morning, to get up out of the bed and do the things that you have to do. Period. So I don't judge her and how she's handling the situations. I don't judge her and how she's living her life. I will never do those things, because I've never been in a situation where anyone has taken my child. And I've only had one in my lifetime. And I just couldn't imagine going through something like that. It has to be extremely difficult. And you're dealing with such a powerful family. We'll just put it like that. But God has all the power. And I'm really hoping and praying that things are going to work out for her. So I just wanted to share this story, guys, and get your thoughts. So let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.